Hi everyone, I hope you're well. The purpose of today's video is to teach you how you can fly within the country of Canada as a mask-exempt person and avoid all discrimination and harassment in Canadian airports. Now, one of the most common questions that I get asked is, are you required to provide a PCR test result in order to board an airline or board an aircraft within Canada? The answer is a resounding no. Absolutely not. You are under no obligation to undergo a PCR test to provide the airline with a PCR test result. Under no circumstances will you be required to undergo a PCR test to board an airline and fly within Canada. Now, I'm going to do my best to walk you through the process, everything from booking your ticket online to arriving at your destination, okay? I'm going to do my best to explain everything that you can expect as a mask-exempt person traveling by yourself or with your family in a Canadian airport, not a Canadian airline. Now, when you book your ticket, it's business as usual. Okay, you go online, you find your flight, you find the best price, you find the best itinerary, and you enter your credit card details, you book your ticket. Now, the only difference here is, of course, you are going to have to self-declare that you do not have any of the following symptoms or that any of the following situations do not apply to you, okay? You've heard it all before. Do you have the cough, the fever, the shortness of breath, the runny nose, the diarrhea? After that, you're going to get an email at some point asking you to check in for your flight. You're most likely going to get this a day or two before your flight leaves. So, business as usual. You can either check in on your phone and have your boarding pass digitally available on your cell phone so you don't have to deal with a teller when you arrive to the airport, or you can decline and you can just check in the day of when you arrive. It's entirely up to you. Personally, I've always just checked in on my phone. I just found it easier that way. Now, when you arrive at the airport, here is what you can expect. The usual shit show chaos of an airport, okay? You're going to be a little bit lost. You're going to have trouble finding parking if you drove yourself. You're going to have trouble finding the terminal that you need to be in. It is just business as usual where you are lost in an airport looking around desperately to find where you need to go. But what's different now? Well, I'll talk about Pearson Airport, okay? Canada's biggest international airport. At Pearson, what's different is that you can't just walk in any entrance. Some of the entrances are blocked off with a big fear-mongering sign that says, "Do not enter, please use the designated entrance," and they have arrows pointing you to the designated entrance. Now, the idea behind this designated entrance is that there is a security guard, a dedicated security guard sitting behind a desk with a beautiful plexiglass wall in front of him, and his purpose or her purpose is to remind you to put a mask on your face. Now, what I find hilariously funny about this is that most of the time there's no one there. No one there. So you will go out of your way to enter this designated entrance where there is supposed to be a security guard keeping everyone safe from the air that you breathe, and most of the time it is unmanned. If there is someone there, I have news for you. Verbal declaration. Now let's pretend this is a video game. Congratulations, you made it past the first boss. Level 1. Accomplished. Now you're walking through the airport, okay? You're looking for security so that you can go to your gate and board your aircraft. While you're walking through the airport, you are going to encounter 0 issues. 0. Police officers will make eye contact with you and they will carry on their way. Security guards will make eye contact with you. They will carry on their way. Airline employees, same thing. They will make eye contact with you. They might stare at you a little bit longer. No one's going to say anything. No issues. At this point, the employees just trust that the security guard, who may or may not be at the door, has done his job, he's done his due diligence, and anyone in there without a mask is legally allowed to do so. Now the next step, level 2, the second boss that you need to defeat in the airport. Pre-boarding security officers. In Canada, they are called CATSA. The water police. So as usual, make sure you don't have any water or liquids or anything that they might steal from you, just to avoid any additional hassles, okay? Because you're going to get a little bit of a hassle here. Now, I've been through this many times with CATSA, and from what I can tell you from personal experience is they are incredibly disorganized when it comes to dealing with mask-exempt people. They don't have a system for getting you through security without harassing you at every turn. So I'm going to coach you on how you can seamlessly go through security without being bothered. And in fact, you might even be treated like a VIP. Now at this stage in the process, this is where you may or may not be asked to provide proof of your medical exemption. Now, I'm going to emphasize may or may not, because like I said, CATSA is incredibly disorganized and they don't know what to do with you. Why not arm yourself with the one tool that can guarantee, absolutely guarantee, that not only will you not be harassed as a mask-exempt person in a Canadian airport, but you will in fact be treated like a VIP. Now, what is that tool? Well, that tool is provided to you by Transport Canada. Transport Canada recognizes that not everyone can wear a mask. Some of us have physical or mental disabilities that prevent us from being able to wear a mask. So we are legally exempt. However, they don't want to just take your word for it. They've added an obstacle, okay? They've thrown an obstacle in your way to make it a little more difficult to discourage you from exercising your right to not wear a mask. Now, what's that obstacle? What's that tool? It is a piece of paper. It is a simple form. I'll read it out to you. It is called Medical Certificate for Persons with Physical or Medical Conditions that Prevent the Use of a Non-Medical Mask or Face Covering for Civil Aviation. Wow. Catchy title. Sounds pretty official, right? Sounds pretty hard to get. Well, it turns out the only thing that's difficult about this form is actually finding it online. They have made it unbelievably impossible for anyone to actually find the link to this form. They want you to be confused. They want to add this obstacle to make it harder for you to exercise your right to not wear a mask. What they want is compliance no matter what. They do not care that you have a medical condition that prevents you from being able to wear a mask. They don't care. They want you to comply. They want you to submit no matter what. So they purposely made this form incredibly hard to find. So let's avoid all of that. I'm going to walk you through on my phone how to locate this form so that you can find it. You can fill out all of the information yourself, and then all you need your doctor to do is scribble on the bottom. I'm going to search Transport. There we go. Canada Mask Exemption Form. Boom. I'm going to click on this link here. COVID-19 guidance material for air operators, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to click on that. Now on this page, I am just going to scroll basically all the way to the bottom, if my memory serves me correctly here. Here we go. This is what you need to find. This hyperlink right here that says conditions preventing the wearing of face masks or face coverings. And then it says for an example certificate. All right, let's see what the example certificate is. Voila! The magical form. It's so simple. You fill out your last name, you fill out your first name and your date of birth. Now the healthcare provider information. Who does that have to be? Well, this form may only be signed by a healthcare provider who is a physician, nurse practitioner, dentist, or physician assistant. So they give you some options on who you can approach to sign this form. Now, once you know who you're going to ask to sign the form, you're just going to make it a little bit easier for them, a little bit less work for them, and you're going to fill out this information on your own, okay? The healthcare provider full name, well, whoever your doctor is, or your nurse practitioner, or your physician assistant, whoever that person is, you're going to search their name online, and you're going to find them in their registry. Okay, so whichever province that in, there will be a registry where you can find all of the information for your doctor or your nurse practitioner or whoever. And you can fill out their full name. You can fill out their healthcare provider license number. You can enter in their phone number. And then all you need them to do is just scribble right here. So now that you have your magic form, now that your doctor has scribbled on the magic line, let's talk about how you can get through security seamlessly and be treated like a VIP. So you are going to ask to speak to the manager and avoid any of the confusion, okay? Let's just cut to the chase here. Ask to speak to the manager, you're going to wait a couple of minutes, and the manager is going to be someone who's not wearing a uniform, okay? And they're going to be super polite and super friendly and super nice, okay? So just relax. When the manager comes, he's going to ask to see your form, and he's going to look at it like this. Okay, and you're good to go. But no, you want to be escorted. So this is your chance. Just say, do you mind escorting us through security, please? And that manager, you're going to see, is going to tell every employee multiple times, it's okay, they're exempt, it's okay, he's exempt, it's okay, that little girl over there, you can leave her alone, she's exempt. That manager will be your fucking bodyguard, okay? So please take advantage, get the manager to escort you. I promise you, worth it. Once you make it past security, it is now time to find your gate. When you get to the gate, 5 out of the 6 times that I've flown, they have not asked for proof of my medical exemption. It's only happened once, okay? Now, it's business as usual. You have your identification ready. If you're traveling within Canada, you don't need a passport. You just need your driver's license and maybe a credit card to go along with it, and your boarding pass. You might need to have your Magical Transport Canada document with you, but most likely not. What's going to happen is they're going to ask you to put a mask on. You're going to politely inform them that you are medically exempt, and they're going to say, okay, no problem. We just need to let the cabin and crew know. They might tell you they've made a note on your file to let the cabin and crew know. That's bullshit. It doesn't work. No, they never know. So if they say, it's okay, I've let them know, you might ask to be escorted. I would recommend that. Okay, because you're already dealing with an airline employee who understands that you're exempt. Why not have them escort you to the crew on the airline and have that employee do the talking for you? After all, they're getting paid, you're not. So how about you, as the customer, relax a little bit and have them do the dirty work for you? Now, what's it going to be like for you as a mask-exempt person sitting on that plane without a mask? You are going to feel unbelievably free. And you are also going to feel unbelievably bad for everyone sitting around you suffering. They're all suffering. All suffering. Even the people that you can tell have completely bought into the fear-mongering. The double maskers with the N95 and then the blue one over top, or they've got the blue one at the bottom and then the grandma's knitted mask over top. Like, even those people are sneaking little nose breaks. And then the flight attendants, they are on them like white on rice. This is the 3rd time I've had to tell you, you're not eating, put it back up. Some flight attendants will actually tell you to put it over your face while you're chewing. So for someone like me, who is sitting there with a big shit-eating grin on my face, breathing and just living and not passing out 30 seconds into the flight because I'm actually able to inhale oxygen, I just watch everyone around me get picked on and harassed and suffer. Just not cool. And what makes it extra not cool is the fact that there are so many people on that flight that are exempt from the requirement to wear a mask who are just confused on how to do it. They don't understand. And flying is already kind of an overwhelming experience, okay? You don't do it very often. So you're always confused. You're always a little bit stressed out. There's a lot of money on the line because you paid, $1,000 for your ticket or whatever. So you don't want to miss your flight. You don't want to waste your money. And in the case of someone who's exempt from the requirement to wear a mask, you don't want to be arbitrarily denied boarding your flight, lose your money, miss out on the flight, and go through that whole experience for nothing. So most people who are medically exempt choose to just suffer instead. And it is unacceptable, and I hope it stops now. I hope that you share this video so that it empowers other people to just take the necessary step to arm themselves with the one little piece of paper that ensures that you are completely and undeniably untouchable inside Canadian airports and on Canadian airlines.